This video is a tutorial for making a scrub top, which in all honesty can be used as a pajama top or just a top. These shortened scrub tops are very popular right now, so this one is a simplified and oversimplified version of the Figs scrub top, but of course theirs is a little more complicated. So this one is something you can make at home, especially if you're just beginning your journey in sewing. So I hope you find this tutorial helpful. The measurements we will need are the neck circumference and the chest circumference. For the neck circumference, there are ways, like different ways to measure it. I usually go for the base of my neck and I try not to be super tight so that not to suffocate myself, but I'm still pretty tight. So this pattern is for a nice tight neck measurement. And for the chest measurement, of course, wear your bra, the one you're planning on wearing, with this top. And it has to run more or less horizontal through the most prominent areas of the chest. Write down your measurements and let's draft our pattern. This is what our final draft will look like. So if you don't want to stay and watch me do it, just make a screenshot or stay and watch the step-by-step drafting process. One thing I need to mention is the total length of my garment, of my finished top, is 20 inches, measured from the back. I'm almost 5'11", so this length is very flattering, but you may choose to make yours shorter or longer if you want to. We will start with this rectangle right here, where the distance A to B is your desired length plus 1.5 inches. Mine is 20 inches, so that makes it 21.5 inches. And the distance B to E is your chest circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. Let's add points C and D right away. A to C is 1.5 inches, C to D is 2 inches. Our next point is point F. The distance A to F is your neck circumference divided by 4 plus 1 inch. Point G is located exactly midway between this side of our rectangle, so that makes it the line A to B divided by 2. Point H will help us draft our sleeve, and it's 3.5 inches away from this point, to which I should have given a name and I didn't, and I'm regretting it. So technically A to H is B to E plus 3.5 inches. Whoa, sorry guys, I'm really trying not to make it super complicated, but I hope you get it. H to I is 4 inches straight down at 90 degrees. And G to J is 2 inches straight horizontally. Connect all of the points as shown, creating this nice smooth curve right here. We are done. And we are ready to cut everything out. So both back and the front are cut on fold, with seam allowances being 1/2 inch, and I usually add more on the bottom. This time I added 1.5 inches, and I made a nice cute slit on both sides of my top, and I'll show you how I did that. And the measurements for our cute front pocket are 6 by 7.5 inches with seam allowances included. As you can see, I started with the back, and once I was done with the back, I cut out the front, cutting out that extra paper for our neck. And for some unknown reason, I cut out 2 pockets even though I only used one of those. Probably just a habit. There are many ways to trim the neck beautifully, but one of my favorite methods is using the self-made bias tape or bias binding, and I'll use it this time and I'll show you how I did it. So if you plan on using those or doing that, here's what I did. I cut out 2 long strips. Each one was 1 3/4 of an inch at a 45 degrees angle across the grain or towards the grain or whatever. This way it can stretch and you can curve it either way. So we'll need to cut out 2 of those strips as well. I usually start with the pockets, and if you haven't watched the video where I'm making pockets for my scrub pants, I highly recommend doing that. If not, just watch me do it. I usually use a heat-resistant ruler and I press under all the sides, and then I top stitch like the top of the pocket, and then I attach the pocket to the garment. Once we're done with our front pocket, we'll work on the bottom of our top. Sounds funny. So we'll press under 1 seam allowance on both the front and the back. Then we will turn out exactly 1 inch as shown and pin it, and then stitch just that little 1 inch on the side, and then overlock a little more than 1 inch as shown. And we will do this for every one of 4 corners of our bottom of our top. With right sides in, pin the back and the front together, leaving those little slits on the bottom open. Stitch and overlock, and remember our slits are still open. Turn and give all those seams a nice steam press. Turn again, and this is what it should look like with every single seam and the bottom neatly pressed. Next, we will top stitch the bottom. Next, we will overlock our sleeve openings, press under 1 seam allowance, and top stitch both of them. Next, we will take care of our neck trim, and remember we cut out those long bias tapes. So before I bought this little gadget box, I usually did everything by hand. Very doable, a little crooked, but still doable. So basically what you have to do is you have to press under 1 seam allowance on one side of your bias tape. The major thing to remember is not to be super tight when you're pinning down your bias tape to your neck. You have to be a little bit loose on the side that you're like the neck side of it. Make sure your outside is nice and curved. It's not too tight. See how it's really loose on this side? Don't worry about it. Like when you stitch it, it won't be bad, but see how nice and curved this side is. Probably the biggest challenge of this project is to connect those 2 bias tapes after you pin them down to both front and back of your neck. Again, very doable. Just be careful and slow and stitch as shown and you'll be fine. This is what each side should look like after you pin, stitch, turn and press out. So now we have this nice one-piece curved, perfectly pinned neck trim all around the neck opening. Stitch, take the pins out and cut out little notches like shown. Turn and press. And finally top stitch. After my garment is made, I usually give it a really good steam press, making sure I get all the details, all the seams. And again, when working with anything with synthetics, you have to be very careful because direct contact with the hot iron can leave that snot-like, unattractive, ugly residue when the synthetics, those little fibers melt. So make sure you test the scrap piece of fabric before you steam press or do anything to it. Well, we are done. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you next time with our next projects.